Throughout the series, we're going to do this thing. It's kind of fun that we're going to look at the different gift, but we're also going to look at some of the negatives of the gift. Because sometimes with a gift, there's negatives. Remember, we started this out by saying whenever we use the gift, we need to use it with love because there's the potential to use it without love. There's the potential to misuse or abuse the gift that God has given you. So here's a couple of the potential negatives that may go along with this gift. People, apostles, people who have this gift that are immature, have a hard time distinguishing between good ideas and God ideas. Is this idea good or is this idea from God? They get a lot of ideas, but they need the maturity to be able to discern what is from God and what's just a random idea that pops into their mind. I mean, I get so many ideas in my mind. I'm like, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing in the world. And I have people that kind of reel me in. Like, okay, hold on. Like, let's think through this a little bit before we just go off on this direction. See, because this is a potential downside when you have this gift. Another thing is that you kind of try something new every week. Right? Like if that's you, if you're always just going from one thing to the next, never fully developing your ideas, just jumping from one thing to another. All throughout my years growing up, I started so many different businesses. I had a t-shirt business. I made a movie. I had a graphic design business. I did web development, did internet marketing, did all kinds of things throughout the years. It's just kind of like jumping from one thing to another, always looking at the next thing. And often not being satisfied with where you are and not always pulling the things that you've had this dream about, not actually bringing them to full development because it's focused on what's next and not what's there currently. After a while, as a result of this, people can stop following you because we have a hard time staying focused on the task at hand. It's always the next thing. And people are like, I want to follow you, but I don't know where you're going. It's like you're just all over the place. Like if you could just hone it in on one or two things, then we can follow you. See, people aren't going to give you time and energy when it could just change at any whim. Another one of the downsides or potential traps of this is that they can tend to sacrifice people on the altar of the mission. Sacrifice people. It's like, well, it's all for the mission. It's all about the mission. It's not about the people. As long as we're accomplishing the mission, people become a means to an end. It's like, okay, we got to get this. We got to make this happen. And you know what? If you're with me, you're with me. But if you're not, you're not. And if you're not with me, then just get out of my way because we're going forward anyway. And you can lose the people side of things. In fact, we see this very evident in the life of the Apostle Paul, right? I mean, Paul, he's the guy that wrote, a big chunk of the New Testament. And yet we see this very thing happening to him. And he's throwing one of his colleagues under the bus in Acts 15, verse 36. It says, after some time, Paul said to Barnabas was also another apostle. They were working together, spreading the gospel. Said to Barnabas, let's go back and visit each city where we previously preached the word of the Lord to see how the new believers are doing. So you see Paul and Barnabas, they started all these churches. They're filling this role of apostle. Now they're kind of changing gears, saying, let's cycle back through and make sure they're doing okay so we can offer some coaching and some mentoring. This is a great thing. This is what an apostle loves to do. Verse 37, Barnabas agreed and wanted to take along John Mark, but Paul disagreed strongly since John Mark had deserted them in Pamphylia and had not continued with them in their work. So Paul's like, you know what? You did me wrong. I'm not taking another risk on you. Verse 39, their disagreement was so sharp that they separated. Barnabas took John Mark with him, and he sailed for Cyprus. Mark made one little mistake, or maybe it was a big mistake. I don't know. It seems like it was maybe pretty significant. But Paul just decides, I'm just going to write you off. That's it. I'm done. You're dead to me. Just get lost. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Now, Barnabas, who also had the gift of being an apostle, but he also had the gift of being a pastor, and he also had the ability to empathize with this guy. He gave him another chance and said, no, you know what? I'm not going to write you off. I'm going to bring you with me, and we're going to accomplish the work that God has for us. So if you feel that this is a gift that maybe is in your life, now, maybe you don't feel like this is a gift in your life. You're like, well, this isn't my gift. That's okay. The reason why this is good for us to hear these different things is because even if it's not a gift that applies directly into your life, it may be a gift that you can help to call out in other people's lives. Like you can see that in somebody else, and you say, hey, you know what? I noticed this in you. I noticed that you have some leadership abilities. I noticed that whenever we're getting together and we're going to play a game with a group of people, you're the one who always stands up and tells everybody the rules. Like you have that ability to lead other people. Like you like to take the reins in these situations, and we can help to call these out in other people. But if you feel that this may be your gift, here's a couple things that we need to keep in mind. The first thing is in your notes, that we need to look for God ideas and not just the good ideas. Look for the God ideas. What is it that God is calling us to do? What is it that God is inspiring us to do? What is it that God is leading us? Not just a good idea. Like we can have good ideas all the time, but just because you have a good idea doesn't mean it's from God. And here's the honest truth of the matter is sometimes the good ideas will actually overshadow the God ideas. We'll get so many good ideas going that we forget about the God idea. The idea that God actually has for us, the thing that he actually wants us to accomplish here on this earth. So we need to seek God for wisdom and discern the ideas that maybe you get, and seek advice from people that have discernment. Maybe you have this prophetic gift. Say, hey, you know what? I got this idea. What do you think about that? I mean, I did this early on when I was making some major changes in my life. I had this idea. I'm like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to start a coffee roasting company, and I'm going to import, coffee beans from another country, and we're going to roast and we're going to do all this stuff. And I told one of my close friends, I said, I'm going to do this. This is going to be the greatest thing. He's like, you're nuts. Like, what are you thinking? He's like, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I can. And he totally talked me out of it. But it was a good thing because I was going to go down a different path altogether. And I needed somebody to kind of like rein me and say, well, that may be a good idea, but is it really a God idea? Another thing is that we don't base the value of people on their ability to contribute to our vision. That maybe God has called you to do something. Maybe God is calling you to lead something. And we're like, man, I'm just so passionate about getting this thing done. I'm just so passionate about seeing God work in the situation, and I need people to help. But you know what? If they're helping me, then they're for me. And if they're not helping me, then I don't want to have anything to do with them. We need to not base people's value on their ability to contribute to our vision. We also need to be patient and give people time to buy into the vision that God has given us. You may have a hard time doing this in love because sometimes we just want to steamroll people. Well, here's where we're going. It's either my way or the highway. We need to stay focused on the mission at hand and don't get sidetracked. Don't take all the little rabbit trails everywhere else. Don't end up chasing all the good ideas and miss out on the God ideas. We need to find the direction that God has set for us and then stick to it at all costs. See, when you know the direction that God has for you, you pursue it at all costs. So if you have this gift, dream big dreams, conquer new territories, reach new people. And whatever gift it is that you may have, whether it's this one or a different one, I would encourage you to fan it. As the Apostle Paul says, fan it into the flames, kindle the fire, develop it, cultivate it, use it. Don't let your gift go unused. Use it for the kingdom of God, but use it in love to accomplish his work for us here on this earth.